Okay, we good? Okay, 2.1, linear equations and problem solving. If I want to solve for x here, what do I need to do?
Cross multiply.
Common denominator.
Common denominators. What technically would be the common denominator?
12.
Okay, so here's an easier way of doing this, okay? Instead of multiplying this fraction by 4 over 4, and this fraction by 3 over 3, and then this side by 12, okay? I'm just going to multiply everything by 12 so I eliminate fractions. So if I multiply this by 12 here, okay? If I multiply this by 12 here, and this side by 12, look at what happens. What's 12x over 3 reduced down to?
I don't know, bro.
4x. What's
9x.
what's 12 times 3 is what, 36?
36.
So yeah, so 36x over 4 reduces down to 9x. And I can eliminate fractions so that it's easier to work with. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Why does it only
I
can't see it.
So then.
Because I know the the common denominator is 12, so I'm multiplying by the whole number of 12 so that I can reduce it. Does that make sense? Technically, you'd be multiplying by 12 over 1. If you were multiplying to get common denominators of 12, you would multiply this fraction by 4 over 4.
You're on that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenner, come over to this side. By Isaac and Ariana. There we go.
They want you to where?
Oh yeah, still got my foot rest. Big table over there.
Okay.
Terrible idea.
So,
That's what God does.
Focus.
Can you
So-
repeat it? Because I don't know how you got it before.
Yes, listen. Listen to what I'm saying here. The common denominator is 12.
Yeah.
Yes. If I multiply, normally you do this. You take x over 3 and you would multiply it by 4 over 4, right?
See, why you put
To
me next
get
to this Game Boy?
4x over 12, correct?
Dang.
You would take 3x over 4. Tyler, shut up.
Bro, he kept making kissy faces at me though. I'm uncomfortable.
I did not do that.
For real.
You would take 3x over 4 and you would multiply it by 3 over 3, right? To get 9x over 12, correct? Okay, and then you would have to take the other side and you would have to multiply it by 6 to get 12, yes? So instead, I just multiplied it to get rid of fractions so I don't have to add common terms or do anything like that. If I take the common factor, the least common factor, and multiply by 12 over 1, 12 over 1, 12 over 1, I get everything simplified down already without having to do anything with fractions. It makes life easier.
Yes.
Okay. And so then I can solve from here. What's 4x plus 9x?
13x.
So you get 13x equals 24.
Divide by 13
Divide by 13 and you get x equals 24
over 13.
over 13, and that's your solution, your answer. Okay, instead of combining fractions and trying to mess up there and subtracting fractions from both sides, I can just do whole numbers and go from there.
Whatever happened to mixed numbers?
I'm gonna need more practice.
I know, you're gonna get lots of practice rates tonight. Okay? Now, let's talk about when you have something like this. 1 over x minus 2 equals 3 over x plus 2 minus 6x over x squared minus 4. What do you need to do first before you can decide what the least common denominator is?
Factor.
Yeah, you need to factor this one out, right? So this, that's gonna be for Jeremiah. Will do. Jeremiah, go. Okay, so we need to factor this out. Guys, stop talking. What does x squared minus 4 factor to?
It's plus 4.
Yeah. X, not plus 4, minus 4. X plus 2, x minus 2. Okay, so if I change that, right, this is what I end up getting. So what is this fraction missing in the denominator spot from here or from here?
X plus 2.
So I have to multiply this by x plus 2 over
I remember this.
x plus 2. So up top you get x plus 2 over x plus 2, x minus 2, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. What is this one missing?
X minus 2.
So you would get, you're gonna multiply by x minus 2, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Focus. Focus. Close your computer and stop talking to people across from you. So here, I would get, if I factor this in, right? 3x minus 6 over x plus 2, x minus 2. Here, do I have to multiply by anything?
No.
No, you just have minus 6x over x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay, now, let's solve from there. What do I need to do?
Combine the right hand side.
Combine the right-hand side, okay.
Like 3x minus
Yeah,
6x.
minus 6x. So you get negative 3x minus 6 over x plus 2, x minus 2. I'm gonna show you a quicker way to do this in a second. So you get this, yes?
See.
What can I do from there? How would I solve it from there? They're set equal to each other, correct?
Oh, can you cross the thinking jigs out?
You could cross multiply?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
X plus 2.
So if I cross multiply, I get x
Wait,
plus.
wait, Miss Peters.
What?
But can't, since you got an x plus 2 on top and an x plus 2 on bottom, can't you go cross?
You mean cancel them out?
Yeah.
Well, I am cross multiplying and cross multiplying, right?
Yeah.
And you want to reduce them first?
So just
Yeah.
x minus 2.
And then on the other side, you would have negative 3x minus 6, x plus 2, x minus 2.
Okay.
Hey, bro, we
Yeah,
switched
here's
seats.
the back table.
Oh, Brett. Here go your stuff, cuz.
So you want to do it this way?
We moving area codes. I was 5139, say so.
I think this is getting too messy.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so let's look at a different way to do this.
No, Kim.
Oh, we gotta erase all of that? You don't have to erase it. I'm showing you a less complicated version of how to do this.
Thank you, Miss Peters, for showing us a less complicated
I
version.
just wanted to prove to you that there's a less complicated way to do this. Okay, so this was x plus 2, x minus 2. And we've decided that the least common denominator would be x plus 2, x minus 2, correct? So let's do like we did over here and multiply by that whole thing, so that we can reduce from the beginning. So if I multiply this fraction by x plus 2, x minus 2, what happens on this side of the equal sign? This and this
Cancel.
giving me
X plus
One
x
over
plus
x plus
2
2. Oh, wait, x
equals.
plus 2. Yeah.
If I multiply this side by x plus 2, x minus 2, what happens here?
X plus 2 gets
Cancel
canceled.
out.
And so then I distribute that 3 in, and you get 3x minus 6. If I multiply this also by the common denominator, what happens?
6x.
You get negative 6x. And that makes my life much less
It
complicated.
really does.
That's why we want to find the least common denominator and multiply by that whole thing, yes.
But now we gotta finish.
So now we just have to finish.
Yeah.
So you have x plus 2 equals negative 3x minus 6, yes?
Yeah.
So add 3x, subtract 2, and you get 4x equals negative 8. Divide by 4 and x equals.
Negative 2.
See how less complicated that is?
Yeah, I feel like it's
So
Jesus.
find the least common denominator and then multiply each section by that and reduce first. Because then you're gonna get whole things to work with instead of fractions. Fractions become too messy,
I'm just saying.
okay? Find the least common denominator. Okay, there's gonna be lots of word problems to deal with too.
Oh, that's not cool. We don't like word. English and math shouldn't mix.
True.
A rectangular kitchen is twice as long as it is wide, and the perimeter is 84 feet. Find the dimensions of the kitchen. How would I do that? How would you set up an equation for that?
Is it a fridge?
A rectangular kitchen
Oh.
is twice as long as it is wide.
Times L equals H.
I was so hungry, he just used the refrigerator.
Am I close?
Are we finding area?
Oh,
2L perimeter W.
2L plus 2W.
That's
Okay, that's how you find perimeter in general,
Wait,
2L plus
W
2W.
squared plus
No.
L.
W times L.
Times W.
You find perimeter in general by doing the length plus the width plus the width. But it says a rectangular kitchen is twice as long as it is wide.
2x plus x equals.
Good.
Good
So
job.
like
Grade
2x
is so
and
freaking
x.
huge.
He has to give the term, he has to give it the same term so that we can add it together and solve. Okay, and we know that it's set equal to 84.
8x.
84 equals 2x plus 2x
8x.
plus x plus x, yes. So
Oh,
4,
6x.
6x.
I'm
If
tweaking.
you just 84 plus 84 plus 42 plus 42.
Hey, bro, that's too much work. Shut up.
Divide by 6, and what do you get? What's 84 divided by 6? Not 12,
I don't know. 14.
14.
Good job, whoever got that first.
So it's 14. And it said find the dimensions of the kitchen, so it's 14 by what, or
14 by 7.
14 and 28. So when they do dimensions, is it length by width, or width by length? Length by width, right? So, 28 feet by 14. Okay, that is an 8th grade math problem. You can do that.
Oh, word.
Now times 6 plus.
That's assuming that I passed.
Knowing,
math.
I say that because my 8th graders isn't a problem
I
like that.
had 65.
Okay, now, you measure the shadow cast by the Aon Center in Chicago, Illinois. And you find it to be 142 feet long. Then you measure the shadow cast by a 48-inch post and find it to be 6 inches long. Determine the building's height.
Not me.
How do I solve that?
Let's look it up on the-
Yes, Mariah, I set up a proportion.
Your brain is so freaking huge.
And how do I set up that proportion? Are they in the same unit of measure currently?
No.
No, so what do you think I need to do?
Change the.
Inches.
Change to inches. Divide it by 12? Yes. Because there are 12 inches in a foot. So why would I divide it by 12? There we go. So it's 1704. So I have x over 1704, and remember that's inches now, equals 48 over 6. Cross multiply, yes?
Wait, where did 6 come from? Oh, never mind, I see it.
And then 1704 times 48 gives me this. Divide by 6, yes? And when I divide by 6, I get 13,632. And then what do I have to do to that still? Change it into feet, so divide by 12. And you get 1,136 feet.
Is that it?
That's it.
Alright, let's do
Okay,
it.
listen, the word problem should not be difficult. It's proportions, it's measurements. Okay, the hardest thing is, remember when you are doing fractions, you want to find the least common denominator and multiply everything by that to reduce it. Okay?
You know, you're math problems tonight.